right. Hello, everybody. We're right on time today. Actually, a couple minutes early. Wonderful messages coming through in dreams this morning. Can't wait to share that with you in just a second. But first and foremost, I just want to say welcome to the collective here. The way that the weekly collective works is we're basically going to take a look at 3 or 4 snapshots. We'll look at some channeled messages, a 7-day forecast, elemental breakdown, and then a special topic today, which pleasantly surprised. We're looking at the magnet, how to pull in love and abundance in the highest forms. And I have a little treat for you guys. I've been working on doing something special so you can see Apollo because the new setup doesn't always allow it. So let me see if I can find where it is. Okay, so here we go. Look at who's there. So if he stays put, I have a little camera there where we can keep an eye on Apollo, but he moved right on cue. He's like, no thanks, Dad. But I have a camera facing his little bed there, so occasionally I'll bring Apollo up. All right, my name is Nicholas Ashbaugh, if I failed to say that. And we're going to start with channeled messages. Everything that I say in the channeled portion is for anybody that happens to be tuning in, so welcome. All right, so channeled messages. Basically, I work with dream interpretation as well as just free channeling, and this is going to be a combination of both. Most of them were pretty auspicious last night, and I think it's kind of cool because, you know, we are in a new month. We're in almost the final quarter of this year, and it's about time, right? It's about time for some good stuff to come through. So here's what I was picking up on. First of all, I saw a new home, and this can represent like 10 of Pentacles energy. So some of you may be stepping into a new home, a new contract, a new relationship. But if you think of the picture on the 10 of Pentacles, it's that archway and you see family. So I think this week in particular, setting the groundwork, creating a foundation, a firm foundation. So 10 of Pentacles, 4 of Wands, something that can really help you get through the latter part of this year is going to be important. For whatever reason, it was really important. In fact, as I woke up, my mom, who is now one of my guides, spoke to me. She said, remember to talk about the mix of shapes. So we were looking at like squares and circles and triangles, and I think it's about trying to find the right fit, but also variety. Whatever this new situation for some of you might be, again, it felt like it was connected to either work, money, or home. There's something about making sure that everything fits. You can't force like a circle in a square and a square in a circle. You have to find that right fit. So make sure that it feels right and make sure that there's variety in the things that you're spending your time and energy on right now. I was also shown a staircase that wasn't, I was like, I don't feel safe going up this. And to me, this represents, it could be something where you know that there needs to be a little bit more research done. It could be signing a contract for a new job. It could be deciding to take a leap of faith in something. And you're like, I'm ready, but I really need to know about this, this, and this, and I don't want to rush that leap. I want to leap with faith and with that sense that I've done all that I can do. Because I started stepping on this and I'm like, nah, this staircase isn't going to hold. I was also shown yoga as a way to connect and remote for those of you that are busy and traveling and don't feel like, putting a lot of money into, a pass because they're expensive. Yoga and Pilates, when you try to buy a studio pass, they can be really expensive. It looked like remote. I saw someone in front of a device working out. The important thing was like 30 minutes. The guides were specific. Give yourself 30 minutes of breathing, stretching, and meditating. And I was specifically shown the left arm. So for some of you, there may be a vulnerability there, past injury. And there was something where the arms were being raised and held, and I could see there was sensitivity in the left arm. So pay special attention to that and obviously get help. Sometimes I'll get a very specific hit like that, and that's what I was picking up on. The last thing was I did see a new partnership coming in too, and I only read it if I see it. So the 10 of Pentacles paired with a partnership energy can actually be pretty auspicious. It shows me that there's a partnership that has the ability to, stand the test of time. Again, the firm foundations that you're working on firming up in your life and your environment actually create the stage for that kind of energy to come forth. Let me see if there's anything else that's coming through here just in real time. And they're showing me like a button, the red button. So I think the other thing right now is not to allow people to push your buttons or to kind of like get into your headspace too much. And That's why the meditation was coming through, right? Makes a lot of sense. So now more than ever, it's important to be centered, to be present, and not to let any of that stuff kind of like get into your power, into your head, okay? So those are our beautiful messages in the channel portion. We're gonna hop straight into our 7-day forecast, looking at the week ahead, and then we'll look at the elements. It's good to see everybody. I'm using some new decks today. Again, I'm still working on my thank you graphic. One thing at a time. Every week I add something new and get a little bit more set up. That's one of the cool things, by the way, before we get into the 7-day. I'm trying to make lemonade from lemons. So I had to repurchase, redo everything. And I was like, this time, let's just do it better. So I'm on an improvement sort of a journey here where I'm trying to make sure that everything that's built is built better. Okay, all that being said, 7-day forecast. Let's see what's coming through, folks. Okay. Close your eyes, clear out any preconceived notions that you might have right now. Just allow for the highest energy to come forth. And just an overarching thank you to everybody. Every deck that you see right now is gifted from a viewer, and I think that's amazing. So thank you to the viewers that gave back. You made this possible today. I sound like PBS, but it is made possible by viewers like you. All right, 7 days. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Let's give it another shuffle. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Saturday and Sunday. All right, we got a nice mix of upright and reversed. Can you believe, by the way, that we're already into September? I find it hard to believe that we're here, but we are, folks. So we're going to take it day by day and make this special. All right, we're going to start off with Sunday for today here. We have slow down, take it all in, take a moment to enjoy. Knight of Swords in reverse is the opposite of speeding up and trying to make all of this happen. Slow down, ask questions if you need to. This card is inquisitive. It's also very to the point. So if there's something that doesn't feel right, doesn't look right, say it. If there's something that you don't understand, ask, and take some time to enjoy the scenery. This is kind of like, if there was any card that would get a speeding ticket, it would be the Knight of Swords. Interesting that I say that. So by the way, if you are traveling, make sure that you look at the speed limit and red light cameras and things of that nature, because there's no rush. There's no rush. And when you rush, you typically make more mistakes. And so the encouragement here is to like just slow down and enjoy. Okay? So good reminder from Spirit for that. Let's go ahead and take a look at the beginning of the work week here. So we have the Strength card in reverse. And on Monday, you're really just being asked to take care of yourself. So we can read it at, sort of like face value, and strength can be our energy, how far we're pushing ourselves. And when it's reversed, vitality is usually pretty low. Attention span can be low. And a lot of times this is because we've been pushing and pushing and pushing, and there is a limit. So basically observe the limits. Also, this is because for some of you, a lot of time and energy has been spent pushing into getting someone to agree or to understand or to see it from your perspective. And there's an encouragement here to just know when you've done all that you can, because sometimes no matter how hard you work, no matter how hard you try, sometimes people they're not going to agree. You usually can get what you want with the Strength card, but I will mention often when it's reversed that there's diminishing returns, or there's sometimes a bigger cost than the win, quote unquote win. So sometimes when you win, you lose. Sometimes when you lose, you win. And so pick your battles. It may not be worth your time and energy. Get some rest. Don't overwork. Walk away from people that are unreasonable. Give yourself space between people, places, and things that tap you out. And in doing so, you're off to a good start of the week. And again, I'll take Strength no matter how it shows up, whether it's upright or reversed, but we would rather see it in the upright position. Looking at Tuesday, well, I think it's finally setting in that, this is a new month, ends and beginnings with the world. Now, it's interesting because this reminds me of Mary Tyler Moore from like the 60s and 70s, that fun classic TV show, where she's starting something new. Like the series, the ending credits, the last shot is her throwing her hat in the air. It's kind of symbolic though, because she makes this new start in a new city, right? It can also mean like I'm just throwing my hat in for consideration, or I'm giving up. So when I look at this, it's like, don't give up. You're on to something really, really great. You're on to your Mary Tyler Moore moment where it's like, I might just make it after all. That's the theme song to this show. So why not give it a shot? Who cares what mom thinks, or your sister, or your brother, or your boss? Give it a shot and see what you can do. You owe it to yourself to explore. And I think when we look at the next card, Wednesday, you see why it's worth it. So 2 of the most powerful cards, by the way, all divine feminine energy. Strength, World, and Star, usually depicting female energy in it. So lots of personal development, lots of power, lots of divine feminine energy coming forth. This is one of the best cards, 2 of the best cards back to back, but love the Star because it basically personifies power and symbolizes that. It's also balance. Just like the Temperance Angel, she has this ability to bring 2 different elements or 2 different energies together, and she's balancing it out. Almost in a magician-like energy, as above, so below here. So stay focused. Stay focused. Really, I think that this is the highlight of the week so far, even though I'm jumping ahead a little bit to highlights and lowlights. You can get a lot done, and today, tomorrow, and Tuesday are going to set the stage for that, okay? By the way, some of you may be moving this week, starting something new, or stopping something. And what I see is a rapid start-stop energy. So I think back to like when I used to have traditional jobs, and sometimes I remember having to start the very next week, like Friday was your last day at one job, Monday's your next day at the next one. And it was almost like vertigo, right? Because you don't have a lot of time to get your sort of bearings. And so please give yourself time between these 2 pivotal events to figure out what's going on, because that's going to help you step into your power. I'm also looking at this little cat, which is watching the koi fish. Keep your eye on the environment. There's also other opportunities that are popping up around you, and you don't want to miss out on that, okay? Let's take a look at Thursday. It's time to speak up. It's a great time to get contracts written. It's a great time for you also for any of you that are like writing or planning or sketching, this is all connected to that. So let's look at it. Anything to do with communication, it's a really great day. And we've been guarding our sort of like words so much because of retrograde. I feel like you're finally given that freedom to speak up and to say and do what needs to be said and done, okay? And again, we can even see the books there. I think the power of setting it into writing is going to be so powerful. We're looking at Thursday, by the way. So on Thursday, make sure that you, at the very least, the first step in a project can just be the plan, the outline, the vision, or the initial conversation. And it all starts with that, okay? Great energy so far. Let's look at Friday. This is you trying to get some clarity, maybe you also looking at the big picture. So this 7 of Cups is nicely illustrated. She's not sure, she's not certain. And the 7 of Cups allows us to get certain. And sometimes we have to test this or taste that or try this on. So don't be afraid to explore options. And it's interesting because we see a little back and forth here. So you can see this sense of concern here, and she's like rolling her eyes, like just make your mind up. So I want to encourage you not to just make your mind up until you've had a chance to survey things. People get impatient, but that's them. That's their energy. That's their experience. This is your life, folks. You got to make sure that you're okay with what's going on. So ask the tough questions, get the clarity that you need. Thursday actually sets you up to hopefully be ready to make the decision on Friday, but someone may be asking for a decision on Friday. So get curious the day before, set those seeds of question and clarity out there so that it'll be easier towards the end of the week. All right, let's focus on the weekend. As we take a look at the energy of Saturday, there's a lot going on. You don't have to do it all. You can push back. You can work smarter. There may be people coming through challenging and asking you like, well, or even just, it could be jealous too, because this comes right after 6 of Wands. So someone can come through and think, well, why did she or he get why do they have that? Why can't I have that? And they come over and they put you on the defensive. Don't get defensive. Stay cool, stay calm, stay collected, and tell them to mind their own business if that's what's going on. Or simply say, because I worked hard. What are you doing? Just push it back. This is a card of defense, but you fight the good fight. You don't fight just to fight. I always like to remind people on that. And there's a lot of energy this week about being intentional, smart, and careful when it comes to how and when you kind of engage in those verbal spars, right? Okay, yeah, I love this deck, by the way. My old one was so tattered, so again, there's lots of silver linings in being able to refresh everything, plus new energy, because decks do hold on to energy, so I feel like I got a full energetic reset with this move. All right, moving on to a week from today, next Sunday. We have Judgment in reverse. So I love this one because she's kind of like creating her own music. Make your own kind of music, like the Mama Cass song, right? But Judgment in reverse can also be understanding that the same applies to others. You can't make people's minds up for them. And I think it's almost coming full circle because we saw that energy here. Now we see that energy here. So you can try to steer someone on the right path. Then you got to focus on you. There's a lot more that can be done with that. And Judgment is a chance for you to have a fresh start, a second chance, let go of something. As we're talking about this, I can feel my solar plexus kind of light up. So for some of you, it is about reclamation of power, and you're just deciding, I've had enough of that, right? Letting it go. And it's a bookend, like it comes right next to the World. So this week you may have one step forward, maybe 2 steps forward, 1 step back. You're still making progress, but it's a little frustrating. I think the clearer and more confident you can get on your path. We talked about that in a daily card pull this week, the Emperor. When you can just get clear on this, there's going to be less friction, less delays. And that's all I have to say on that. Okay, so let's take a look at highlights and lowlights, and then we'll get into the elements. Okay, so I already mentioned the highlights in the middle right here. The star card is showing that you're being set up to be seen, to be heard this week. Communication is really important as well. I think the challenging days, it's probably Monday and Tuesday, because you've got to take care of your body and you might be adjusting to change. The rest of the week is pretty manageable. And there's a lot of power cards here this week, a lot of major arcana, strength, world, star, judgment. Like these are good things. So you've got a lot of, you've got everything you need to make it work this week, and I'm going to leave it with that. Let's go ahead now and take a look at all of the elements. And basically, this is a chance for us to get a little bit more specific. I just, by the way, finished all of the monthly readings. Thank you. I changed up the order. I hope you guys enjoyed that. But anyway, this is going to help you focus a little bit on the signs in case you need an extra pulse for this week ahead. All right. We're going to do fire, earth, air, and water. Okay. Also some beautiful cards coming through here. So we're going to start off with fire, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. We have the 9 of Pentacles in the reverse state. First of all, it's a reminder of how close you are to completing something. I just talked about this card in a daily. One thing that this lacks when it's reversed is sometimes the ability to either ask or accept help. Ask for help or accept help coming in. You're close, but you could get there even faster if someone lends a little bit of support. So be open to that. There's no rush. So connecting with that Knight of Swords that was reversed, this is reminding you that slow and steady wins the race. Usually there is a snail on this card. That's what that's representing. There's also a lot of abundance and a lot of work that has been done. So this is encouraging you to slow down for a moment and drink it all in and say, I'm so grateful that I got through this, that I received this, that I am still standing, and I'm here right now. So it's a little bit of gratitude is the word I'm looking for, I think, here. Overall, this is a success card for sure. So you're on the path to success, but being grateful, slowing down, receiving assistance or asking for assistance, all of these things could bring you a little bit closer to what you're looking for. Normally in the upright position, I would say go splurge, take care of yourself. In the reverse, it's saying don't overdo it. So yes, have some fun, treat yourself, but also like within reason, within balance, everything in moderation. Pretty good card. I have to really stretch to find a problem with the 9 of Pentacles. So I feel like this month, this first week of the month is great for all the fire signs. Let's go from fire to earth, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. you are being asked to step it up. Step up in leadership, step up in communication, and you can do it. The Queen of Swords doesn't waste time. So the main thing here is to, get in and get out when there's a major communication or decision that needs to be made. It's also a very action-oriented card. So keep busy, show people what you're capable of, and it's walking the walk and talking the talk. It's a combination of the two here. When it comes to overall communication, though, you are set up for success. So trust in your voice. It's not about having perfect diction, perfect vocabulary, etc. It's mostly just saying things in a way that engages with people. And I like to use the example of like singers, even a live performance. Live performances aren't perfect. Our ears are so tired of hearing everything auto-tuned, though, that it's really cool to hear someone sing in real time, and the mistakes somehow make it a little bit more magical. So just own your own quirks and communication style. It's exactly what you need. And yeah, I just feel like you're in a good leadership kind of like energy for the week ahead. All right, let's move on. Going to the air signs, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Taking care of yourself, very nicely aligned to strength. So the sun is a powerful card, but when reversed, it's saying, let me make sure I feel supported. If I need something, I'll ask, just like a kid would. This is like a baby in tarot, although not as illustrated here. The other thing here is that it's time to let something go. So we see her holding this bird in her hand, and she's ready to release it. It's unconditional. So if you've been holding on to something too long, it's a birthing and releasing energy. If you need to take care of yourself, it's self-investment. And if you're working with what I was feeling earlier on the solar plexus, it's reclamation of power, because this is literally the sun, so solar plexus and power. It's a reminder of all of those things, okay? And we're also kind of coming up on a seasonal shift here. Northern hemisphere getting the hints of fall starting to come in, and the reverse in the southern hemisphere. So this is about looking at this latter part of the year, the last 4 months or so, and deciding, what am I going to do? We've almost made that revolution around the sun. So it's asking you, is there something on your list that you need to focus on? Now is the time. Okay? Water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Patience, you're exactly where you need to be, and taking care of yourself, balance. This is also an angelic card, one of the biggest front-facing angelic cards. So you are being guided by spirit if you slow down. The meditation message was it's for everybody, but especially for the water signs. Give yourself, if you can't do it in a day, do it in the week. 30 is what I was shown, 30 minutes. So you could just divide that in the work week, at least 5 minutes a day, and you've got that. And then if you do it on the weekend, you're above it. So give yourself 5 minutes per day, brushing your teeth, combing your hair, putting on makeup. While you're doing that, breathe. That was the main thing, breathe and meditate. And if you can separate and give yourself one 30-minute session this week of meditation of your choice, but something with breathing, I feel like it's going to clear a block somehow for many of you. One step at a time, and this is about testing the water too before making a major plunge or major shift or movement in your life, okay? Pretty good overall. We didn't get like the devil, the 10 of swords, the tower. I feel like you're all headed in the right trajectory. Okay, so we're gonna, now speaking of trajectories, we're gonna take a look at the special topic, magnet, calling in love and abundance in the highest forms. I love this because we're gonna take a look at a couple of things. I never look at love, so we'll look at it if it comes through here. And then we're gonna look at just abundance and opportunity. All right, so let me clear the deck. And while I'm doing that, if you enjoy what you see here, just a reminder, it's free to subscribe. It helps the channel. I'm close to a milestone. We'll do something special when we get to that milestone, so help me out. All right, let me turn the table down, and or the camera down rather, and I'm gonna use the fountain deck. I haven't worked with this for a minute or two, so this will be fun. All right, I think I took it out of the wrapping. I did, good. Okay. As I'm getting set up, take a moment, if you will, close your eyes, let go of anything that you've been holding on to. Nice deep inhale and exhale. Okay, great. And now let's just call in guidance from the angels, from our highest guides and our higher self. And let's see what the universe has to say. There's that 10 of Pentacles. looking good. Seven of Cups making a reemergence. I'll have to adjust the ISO in a second on that because they're a little bit bright, but it's all right. All right, let's get started here. We're going to begin with Catalyst energy, and we have power coming through. This is your chance to reclaim or establish power in your life. Nicely aligned with what I was seeing, I believe, for the air signs especially, but everybody. It's a chance to jump into something and really say, I can do this. I'm ready. I've been preparing for this. Absolutely. This is also a chance for you to focus on, I think of just like flipping the switch, turning power on. And so for some of you, this is a chance to really say, okay, what is it going to take to ignite this, to bring some energy behind this like blue sky idea that's behind me? So that's what I see. You've got the power, you've got the capability to do so. Let's bring it. All right, let me see if I can adjust the ISO a little bit on this one. I don't know if I can do it from up above. Yeah, I'm just going to leave it. It's good enough. All right, so we're going to start with the center card. The Ten of Pentacles. Interesting. Ten of Pentacles in reverse. I mentioned that I thought that this would be a very foundational moment. Indeed it is. But the thing with the Ten of Pentacles is sometimes we can feel the need to have to meet up to people's expectations. And it becomes pressure, just like Ten of Wands. So this can be familial pressure, this can be societal pressure. The doorway is open. It's your path, and you get to define the parameters of quote unquote success. So don't get in your headspace too much, okay? I think that that's really, really important here. We were talking about love and abundance in the highest form. So this is, you can take the path either way. If you want to focus more on relationships, you can. If you want to focus a little bit more on work, you can. The cool thing, I'm going to pull the traditional 10 as we're talking, is that the card comprises both, and maybe you don't have to choose. You can blend a little bit. So finding that perfect balance and saying, you know, when the work day is done, it's done. You can spend some time with your family. Having boundaries, saying no in certain instances is where you're going to marry the two, because I don't believe sometimes that you have to sacrifice it. If I could go back in time, that would be advice I'd give to a younger version of me. So here's your Ten of Pentacles, and you'll notice there are friends, there are family, there are members, there are coworkers. It's all part of this. So let's not overdo anything right now. You can actually have a little bit of both. Maybe not all at once, all the time. And I think that's the important thing. That's what I would tell my younger self, to like speak back to bosses that were asking for an unrealistic thing. Say, I've been working overtime all week. I can't pull another all-nighter. I'm tired. You're going to have to find someone else. I'm done. Sometimes I did say that because you would reach a point of diminishing returns, but you shouldn't have to go that far. Same thing in a relationship. If you're pulling, you know, the main part of the load 24/7, there comes a breaking point, and we don't want that to go to like the 10 of Swords. So have proper boundaries, and I feel like you're going to be more powerful, more successful, and more admired for having those boundaries and limits. Crossing this, we have Seven of Cups. As I mentioned, you're encouraged this week to dream. Dream, ask, explore, see what's out there. Now, all of these cards with the Seven of Cups, the person seems kind of like deer in the headlights. So put into your program, into the brain program, I've got nothing to lose. Let me just do what feels right for me. Let me stop worrying so much about all this other stuff, about worst case scenarios. This is my consistent graphic for the Seven of Cups. It's like you get lost. That was me in math class sometimes, like, wait a second, what? How does that work? It's like one of those word problems. If Sally's traveling down the 405 at 60 miles per hour and looks at her clock and then eats a broccoli sandwich or something, like all of these random things, you're like, why is she eating broccoli, first of all? And what's going on with this? And it was there to confuse you. So don't get confused. Pare it down. Just keep it simple and trust yourself. And don't get lost in your thoughts. There's too much information sometimes. That's really what's going on. And so even just pruning down the sources a little bit is going to help you. All right, I need to turn the AC on because it got hot in here. And we're going to go into the deep past. Even though we're on the precipice of fall, it's still warm. And that's a good thing. All right, here we go. Looking at the deep past, lo and behold, the Wheel of Fortune. Pretty powerful Wheel of Fortune too. This almost looks to me like an atomic sort of thing where there's all this energy and movement. It's not just your traditional Wheel of Fortune. It also shows us that we're simultaneously kind of like able to access all these different paths. One thought, one action could bring you on a completely different life path. Saying yes to an invitation, saying no to an opportunity, hitting the snooze button for 5 extra minutes, observing the red light and not going through it. All these little things can help you meet someone, meet an opportunity. So what if you're exactly where you need to be? What if that extra bit of research, that extra thought aligns you to that moment in time where you meet that special someone that connects you? So I just feel like you're in alignment. And once you know that you're in alignment, you'll stop doubting yourself. And that's what the Seven of Cups was showing, was doubt. So if you can get to that place of just trusting your instincts, you're going to be okay. All right? Let's look at what's coming through next. 10 of Wands, movement. So for many of you, don't reinvent the wheel. That's what we see with this one. But this is a smart 10 of Wands. Not that the traditional one isn't, but this person has found a way to get those wands to work for him rather than working for the wands. So there's a lot of ways we can look at this. You're not living to work. You're working to give you what you need to live. You're looking at people, places, and opportunities around you, and you're thinking, how can this fit in? Remember what my guide said with the pieces. Don't force a connection if it doesn't fit. And maybe there's a better way to get organized. Because you'll see when I pulled the traditional 10 of Wands that this guy he's not even carrying this bushel of wands in the correct way. That is not how you lift. We don't lift like that, like hunched over. So this is not an effective way to deal with stuff. He's done so much. He's close to the finish line. He's a little exhausted. He needs to stop for a second, catch his breath, wipe the sweat from his brow, get his posture in the right position, and maybe make these things work for him. I think he spent too much time working for everyone else. So work for yourself for a second. See if you can use your existing resources to your advantage and not start from scratch. Even if you're on the heels of like a tower moment in your life, there's rubble around you. There's these pieces of things. You can use them for tools, and even a tower moment is not a complete end. It's just a reorganization. So get organized. That's what I'm seeing. This is a perfect chance to get organized, to work smarter, and to get things working for you in the best possible way, both figuratively and literally, okay? In the crowning position here, we have the Queen of Cups. And so for many of you, you're being asked to tune in to your emotional side. So she's taken a minute. This is the importance here of meditation. Whether it's 5 minutes or 5 hours, I don't care. Not in a given day, but like in all. Give yourself a little bit of time this week to really tune into your emotional side and take care of what matters the most. There could be new love coming in. There could be a water sign in particular, Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. If you are a Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces, you're just in a really higher and more sensitive energetic state. This is creativity as well. So this is a good week for you to engage in a new creative project, to spread your wings a little bit. It's all going to bode well. Okay, Let's see what's coming through in the near future. Four of Pentacles. Don't accept less than your worth. And don't sell yourself short. So we see someone here protecting what they have, but not really allowing it to be seen, or not sort of imagining that there could be more. They're like, this is all I've got. I need to hold on to it. And so I would say in this moment in time, see what's in front of you as the tip of a possibilities iceberg, that there's much, much more to be seen, to be experienced. And if something in your life consistently underperforms or is making you exhausted, it's like you're the battery for that person, place, or thing rather than the reverse, or rather than it just being an equal exchange, then it's time to let it go. As many of you know, this is in my readings anyway, like the devil that you know, but you hold on to anyway. It's not enough. Whatever it is, it's not enough. And I know it's a form of self-protection. That's why we see this little tent here with everything being protected. But your center card is one of abundance. So you're worth more, and you know it. And we have an ace here showing up for you. We have the King of Pentacles showing up. So whomever or whatever this is, pay it no mind. This isn't the time to let this get in the way. Sometimes we don't let go of something, even though many of you are already kind of like 1 foot towards stepping into something new. But sometimes we hold on to something because people, I mean, it is a phrase they say, better to have the devil you know than the devil you don't. Why does something new have to be a devil anyway? Why can't it just be an opportunity? Let's just let it go and open up new paths, new people, new opportunities. That's what this whole reading's about. So release something. I can see that there's better things in store, especially if you already feel like it's not enough. You're worth it. I think I just said that in either today's or yesterday's reading. You're worth it. We literally have you coming through with a big coin, ace of coin, and a stairway. The question isn't if you're worth it, it's when you're going to realize that you're worth it. And then the sooner you focus on the self-worth, that's when the abundance comes through. So the mantra this week is I'm ready, I'm worthy, I'm deserving to receive love and abundance in the highest form. But you need to be like ready, willing, and worthy. Feeling the worth is the hardest part, so say it until you believe it. You eventually will believe it. Some of us just didn't have the benefit of someone saying you're amazing or great work or I love spending time with you. So I'll say it to you. You're amazing, and you're definitely worth all that I see here in the cards and then some. So please believe it. Please accept it. Please embrace your worth, okay? In the environment, we have the King of Pentacles. This could be a really nice opportunity. It's also showing the potential, like, L-I-K-E, attracts like. So there could be someone out there that's seeing something of themselves in you, a potential that you don't even see, but this could be a great partnership. So I think if you're looking for a new job, if you're looking for a mentor, if you're looking for something that can really take you to the next level, the King of Pentacles is showing you, yeah, you can create this right now, okay? It's also super entrepreneurial. So if nobody's saying that, then be it. That is what I did almost 10 years ago. 10 years ago this January is when I quit my job. And I was like, I think I've had enough. I'm done. I need to support myself. I need to be my own boss because I'm not getting what I need here anymore. And I've tried it for 15 years and it's not working. So sometimes we have to be the King of Pentacles for ourselves. But unlike Jack and the Beanstalk, it doesn't grow overnight. You just have to kind of like give yourself a moment to get everything set up. So if you're on that path, we'll look at it more when I go into work, but I'm picking up on that for some of you. We have two boss cards, two of the best in business. Like this would be like the chief financial officer, and this is the chief executive officer. So we got the King of Wands in hopes, fears, and opportunities. What I like about this one is it's like the Olympic sport where they use that wand or whatever to hop over. Is it javelin? No, that's when you throw it. Whatever it is. They're basically hoisting themselves up through the experiences that they have. So everything you've done, setbacks, successes, and all the stuff in the middle, it's giving you that leg up, that ability to kind of push yourself to the next level. But it is a little bit of both. This king isn't sitting on his throne waiting for it to happen. He's using the energy and he's hoisting himself up. So I like that a lot, actually. It also reminds me a bit of like Gandalf, where he takes the staff and is like, if you need to put something in the sand, like you shall not pass. Like no, no means no, right? Yeah, pole vaulting or whatever it is. But anyway, yes. So initiating your power, using your power for your own good, for the betterment of others, and really just kind of owning it, not just sitting there. So I think activation is the key thing here. No, it's not the high jump. There's a sport where they take a pole, they push it in the ground, and they go up over top of another pole. I don't know the name of it, but you know what I'm talking about. And they just barely get over it. It's a difficult sport because it involves like math, calculating how much you have to push. But I like it because it shows that you can reach a new height. And that's what I'm getting in my head right now, okay? Now we see a new road that you've opened up for yourself. This is like one of the best Eight of Wands that I've seen, because normally the wands are just flying in the air. We don't know where they're flying. We don't know who put them into motion. We don't know where they're headed. This is showing that you really want to be focused. So you could either be the source of all of the wands coming outward, or you could be going towards that sort of destination. And it's the clarity of that you really need. And each day is a reset. And actually, so this morning I was waking up and I looked out the window and I could see before, when you wake up, there's this moment where let's see if I can kind of zoom in a little bit. Yeah, it's kind of like there's this atmospheric thing where you can see the sun starting to rise, and there's this kind of like gradient that you don't always see in nature, and I'm kind of seeing it here. So in the early part of the morning, so like 5 or 6 a.m. is when I took that picture, I'd like you to start with this mantra of possibilities and really think to yourself, so we gave you one mantra, which is you're ready, willing, and worthy to receive. But the other thing is, I can, I will, I am. Today, I am capable. I can do this. I will do it. I am creating this. Like, get that can, will, am capabilities mantra going in your head and see yourself headed towards brighter shores here. Okay, let's expand this. We're going to take a look now at health, wealth, love, and destiny, helping us get a little bit more clarity on this. And we're going to pause on each of the cards to see specifically what you're magnetizing, what you're calling in. And we're going to look at it from love and abundance. So I'll do that little pause before each thing, and then we'll take a look at the spread itself. So let's start off with health, the first. So interestingly enough, in health, sorry about that. In health, we have the Lovers, a very basic illustration here of the Lovers too. This deck has some beautiful cards, but they pared it down to like just pen and ink on this one. So when we're looking at what you're calling in healthier relationships, because it's in health, so we can take the Lovers and we can look at relationships and say, how can I make this relationship healthier and happier? It all begins within. So you're going to focus on the relationship with self. Air signs got it, I think, with the sun in reverse. But everybody this week really focus on getting a healthier feeling. Like when you're looking at yourself, just say, this is the best I can be today. It may not be what I'm seeing in magazines, what I expect of but this is as good as it gets today, and that's got to be good enough. And I got to celebrate what I'm bringing forth. Love yourself however you can. Find some positive things to think and say about yourself. If you do that, you start to radiate that. And then they're not going to be paying attention to all this other stuff. They're going to be paying attention to this and what's coming out of your mouth. So speak and think. And what's already here, this is the ultimate magnet, is the brain. So when you start to just think good things, you start to attract better things. All right, so that's the healthy piece with relationships. And we're looking at love and abundance. So abundance, love who you are, love what you're doing, love who you spend your time with. And if any of those things are out of not synchronized, then it's time to fix it. If your friend circle is kind of not supportive, push some distance, focus more on core relationships that are better. If your work environment's toxic, that's where you put it. And if your own relationship with yourself is toxic, something needs to be balanced. If it's all in the right direction, well, you got the validation here with the Lovers. Keep on loving and put that energy out there, because that is the most powerful tool that you can use in this universe, is love. It can break through almost anything. We don't use it enough. We use lower frequencies usually. So use the frequency of love. All right, health. What else is coming through? Like I said here, work smarter. If we go back to that 10 of Wands illustration, you remember it. I'm not going to go back in here. But the 10 of Wands, sometimes he's carrying too heavy of a load. So work smarter and be careful of how you're carrying things. So if you have the ability to use like a dolly or something like that to help, especially if you're moving, to help kind of like distribute the weight more evenly, that's key. I'm also looking at the tire and I'm thinking of alignment, and I'm thinking of spinal alignment, or sometimes we have something in our hips that can so it might be worth going to a chiropractor or a doctor if you feel like you're constantly not in the right alignment. There could be something going on there as well. Emotional stability and emotional care is the most important thing here with this Queen of Cups. So take time to rest and to meditate and have a creative outlet. That's also really important. The Four of Pentacles is about holding on to stress. So we were talking about the devil that you know, but this is also sometimes saying, I don't know how to let this go, this fear, this anxiety, this stress. So you're hearing me say, think positive thoughts, but you can't let go of the negative. So work with somebody, lean on someone, see if they can help you get the tools you need to better kind of like care for yourself there. Otherwise, it's actually pretty darn good this week. Peer and familial pressure definitely come through in the center. So it's your life. You don't have to vicariously live it for other people. Can't vicariously live through you. Let's put it that way. So really, when you need to just kind of take a step back on something, do that and walk your own path. For some of you, that's the important thing. Concentration, mental acuity, and clarity. So depending on what other people are saying, that may be stuck in your head. But if you are having any concentration issues, rest, diet, exercise, and then when in doubt, work with the doctor. But it could just be stress. Stress gets into our heads sometimes and we're not our best. We can't clearly think. And I remember, and it was a clear sign that I needed to move, but when I was in my old apartment, there was one day where I was taking some allergy medication, but it wasn't that. It was actually the mold. But I couldn't like form a sentence. I'm like, I got to get out of here. That sentence came through, but like the words weren't coming through, and it was actually giving me mental fog, my allergies and the reaction to that environmental thing. So whether it's people or an allergy or something else, there's so many different things that can affect mental acuity. You need to slow down when that happens and really focus on self-care. Okay, let's move on. We're going to look at wealth. This is one of the key things that you want to meet. The next two categories are part of the special topics, so we'll pay special attention to this. Synergy, such a corporate word. Perfect for this. There's a lot of stuff going on in this picture, though. Like, I love that it's just lush and green, and it looks like you're in the middle of a rainforest. And the green man is like the Fool in tarot, or sometimes the Emperor, but it's about creation and it's about power. And so we're looking at ways to partner better. Synergy is about finding ways to like work. It's just so overused. There's so many things like words that I don't miss from corporate are like, let's leverage that. Let's table that discussion. Let's focus on synergy. They don't mean anything. The words are just nonsense. So this one, we're really going to go to the root word on this, and it's trying to find a way at your core to feel like we're both getting something out of this, right? It's feeling good for both of us. All right, let's focus on the cards. Let's look at three major categories. Those that are working, seeking employment, or students and retirees. Okay. If we are focusing currently on those that have a 9-to-5 job, here's what I see. Well, you've worked hard and it's paying off. You've got two powerful 10 cards at the center. This is wealth and abundance, but you may not be sort of like making it all work in your favor. So take a moment. I mean, it could be as literal as looking at your resources and thinking, oh, I forgot that I have this account or budget or money or whatever. There could be some untapped resources, or you could be working yourself too much to exhaustion, because there's no way that these two should equal this, the 4. You could also be working in a place where they take too much. Like if you're producing this much and only getting 40%, That's not a fair exchange. It should be the other way. You should be getting 60 and they should be taking 40. If we're going to allow for that much. But something's off in the exchange. That's why it's the devil, you know. You think, well, I'm making money, but they're taking too much overhead. Or you may be making this much, but you're exhausted afterwards. So we have to kind of like even the exchange. That's the first thing that I'm picking up on. I do get this sort of either confusion in like, why are we doing this? Or for some of you, it could be like, what exactly did that person say? So it's funny that we have a very corporate word here that kind of means nothing in the way that it's been used so much. So say, great, I'm all on board for synergy. Specifically though, what do you mean? How would you like us to execute that synergy? Do you have some really great tent poles that we can work with to help make this happen? I can definitely like throw the corporate jargon right back at them, but so that I can absolutely maximize the synergy, help me understand expectations, because it's too broad of a word to be able to successfully kind of like navigate. So if you're in an environment where they throw out a bunch of nonsense, try to dig into the specifics. Say, I need a metric. I need to be able to measure this. What are you looking for? What do you mean by that? You can just say that. What do you mean by that? No, I don't understand. Clarify. Use other words. Try harder. All right. You never know until you ask. If you want something, speak up. Yeah, it would be great if everyone had a deck of cards and was tuning into you and trying to, but they're not. So if you want something, say, hey, I'd like to be considered for this, or I need help with this, or I really want to work on that. Speak up. That's it. And we have the chance for you to receive that, but it requires that initial sort of energy. And then also, this is especially true, we'll look at entrepreneurs in a second, but no matter what you're doing, put in a little bit more if you really, really want it. And that's going to push you up over everybody else that's just clocking in at like 80%. Put in 85, 95, 100, 101. Let's not overdo it. Like just get yourself that extra little bit over there, and then we see you smooth sailing. But I think the biggest challenge is people that are not clear in expectations. I think that there could be someone that's taking too much overhead and not giving back enough. There could also be someone that's really poor at fostering sort of like that sense of community or synergy, and they're just not knowing. Bad leadership is what I see. But you have a chance to step into leading by example and pushing a little bit. So you can lead the charge here for sure. I think you're going to be able to navigate this just fine, but something needs to be done about time, energy, or money. You have the potential to do it. Push, speak, act, and see what you can do. And of course, do it with empathy. But you have 3 leadership cards here, so I have a pretty good I have good faith in you for this week ahead. All right, if you're looking for work, it's competitive. We see other people that have that same competitive energy. This is the sort of like the key to success here. So what can you do that sets you apart, that makes you kind of go to the top of the heap of resumes? People don't even, it's now digital too, but how can you flag attention, get someone to notice? So with this, it's demonstrative. So you're going to show it, not just say it. And so for those of you that have the ability to, like nowadays, if there's it's not just your website, but like maybe it's even like the portfolio or the way that you're putting it in there, or the pictures or the samples that you're putting in. Something about the visual presentation of it would help. Also, it needs to be like immediately clear. If there's anything where you read it and you're like, I don't know what I just wrote, or you're not sure why you're including it, maybe you shouldn't include it. Maybe you should say it clearer and with fewer words. It's always better than to be put on the spot and kind of be like, yeah, I just kind of said that. So be specific, be concise, and edit visually, and also with like what you're putting out there visually. So visually and I'm sorry, with text. So words and pictures, they just need to be more concise. Anything that is ambiguous, it's going to create that on the other side. We don't want that. We want you to go to the top. The 10 of Wands also, I mean, this is a card of travel. Having a meeting or going to a convention or going to some sort of networking event could be really advantageous. Face-to-face, always preferred, not always possible nowadays. It's harder to see people face-to-face. I do think you have a good shot of getting this. I mean, ultimately, this is This is solid when we're looking at job or love. So yes, you can do it, but you have to push a little bit. And if you can network or work the network, that's going to be key as well. If there's a lowball offer, don't accept it. Push back a little bit. There are other offers out here that are better. Or don't let that be the end-all be-all. You could take it as something that will tide you over, because I think there's something better. The first may not be the best. Okay? Okay. Moving on. If you are a student right now, well, I like this. The Ten of Pentacles is really good for a place that you're studying. Same thing with Ten of Wands. I like where you're headed. I think the main thing here is not holding back. For some of you, with the Four of Pentacles, it could be just being afraid to show your thoughts or speak up or put it all out there, and that comes with time, confidence. I feel like there's a little bit of a confidence gap, but and there's a lot of other students or teachers or people around you that speak a lot, and for you to get noticed, this is very similar energy. Raise that hand, get that pole, like vault yourself up there, speak, and it doesn't matter if it's not perfect. What matters is that you're trying, that you're offering the best and brightest kind of like thought that you have, and you'll learn from that. And they'll remember that you tried. Only speak up when you have something to say, but like when you have something to say, don't be afraid. That's one thing that got easier for me as years passed by, because you figure like you either like it or you don't, but I need to say this or it's going to bother me later. So speak up. That's the main thing that I see for you. Speak up. I also see financial crunch coming through. It makes sense. Believe it or not, I still have a little bit of a student loan that I'm paying off. It takes decades, like 2 or 3 decades sometimes, because they're so expensive. And I'm dealing with prices from the previous century. I can't even imagine now like how much school is costing. So what I do like about that for students is we have money cards, center, environment, and you. So there is a chance, possibly if you look around enough, for an internship, for a scholarship, for some sort of opportunity to ease the load a little bit, okay? And remember this card here, power. You have what it takes. You wouldn't have been accepted if you didn't. Okay, now let's look at retirees. I'm looking at the Horizon card here. This is like a road trip. That's what I'm seeing here. It does not have to necessarily mean getting on a plane, but some of you may be deciding to take a short road trip. Also, so many cards of development, and hello, this is an important part of our life. We should be able to continue to keep our minds active. This is possibly taking an art class. This could be mentoring someone. This is you looking at your money, making sure that everything is performing well. So you're on top of things. And for some of you, you're thinking, what else can I do? What's next? And I think that's really, it's a very common thing in retirement, because we work for this arbitrary thing like, I can't wait until I'm retired. Then it hits and you're like, okay, now what am I supposed to do? I don't have a job. I don't have those connections. And it's freedom and it's liberation is what it is. So give yourself time to plan before retiring. If you've just retired, have some fun with the freedom, and then figure out what you want to do. You can do anything you want. You have to create a schedule, though, and that's the thing that I see here is getting organized. Okay, let's move on to love, the second big piece of what you guys wanted me to look at today. All right, so for love, we have ascending the mountain. Keep going forward. All right. The card is reversed. So for some of us, there's this feeling of it's not happening, but you don't know how far you are up the mountain. Wouldn't it be crazy if you were, 80% to the top and you're like, oh, I'm tired. Forget about it. I don't need to see the view. And then you come all the way down. Why not just push to that extra little bit? So we see the same thing here. It's not giving up. It's not forcing a connection, but it's not giving up either, because you're actually a lot further than you think. It's closer. That person might be coming to meet you halfway, for those that are looking. And then if you just give up and go down the hill, well, they're coming, but it's going to take longer. So just keep doing you, keep focusing on what matters, and the synchronicity opens up when you stop focusing so much on the distance or the time or the age at which you are, and like how this is connecting to what you thought you would be doing, what parents thought you would be doing, what society says that you need to be doing. Frankly, it's no one's business but your own. And it's so annoying to hear people weighing in on like who should have children when. stop it. Stop. Everybody just allow us to be, or when you should have that relationship, or if you're single. That's why I read single and happy and make sure that I say the combination. I don't need to say it for the other ones, because sometimes when you're single, people think you're not happy. Why can't you be single and happy? So let's just let it all be. Focus on doing you. And when you're least expecting it, that other fool that's walking the path, I say that as like the first card, not the fool, you'll meet. So don't get in your head too much. Let's focus on 3 major relationship categories: those in a relationship, those that are looking for love, and those that are single and happy. All right, let's see what's going on here. If you're in a current relationship, I really like that the 10 of Pentacles is at the center. I do feel the pressure that some of you feel, however, to meet up to all the expectations I just said. So isn't it annoying when a parent says, when are you going to make me a grandparent? I did say stuff like this to my parents, and they loved me. But I was like, go adopt a dog. You can have... You don't need me to... If you want to take care of something, go get a pet or something. Later, my mom was so happy that she was like, I couldn't deal with grandchild. I'm glad that I had Apollo. So she called it her granddog. You can reprogram your parents and just say, what are you pushing this on me for? I don't need it right now. So don't... Or when are you going to have another one? Why are you worried about my biology, everyone? So, like, just push people back a little bit. They mean well, but it's really none of their business. And you could just say, I'm good. When are you going to have another one? Are you done? Just throw a question right back. And sometimes a mirror is the best way to educate. You don't have to be mean about it. You could just mirror it. You have to be careful because sometimes it can be snarky. So just say, I'm good. Are you good? You know, you seem very concerned about my... The other thing here is, some of you are asking a deeper question, right? Which is, are we in this for the long haul? Because this is a path. This is the mountain. This is a lot of work and energy. And for some of you, you may be in a relationship, but you want to know, like, are we exclusive? Are we getting married? Do you want a family? That's a lot different when you're talking to your partner and just saying, what is it that you seek in this relationship and in life? Now, that's the time it's appropriate, because you need to make sure that you're both on the same page. So whenever that feels like it's the right conversation to have, talk about it. And for some of you, you're looking at money. You're looking at time. You're looking at energy. There is a little bit of a concern there. We do have a great paternal energy coming forth. So if you're interested and you ask, you may actually find that your partner's right in alignment. There may be some concerns, but you can manage them. So just have that conversation. That's what I'm picking up on. Other things, let's take it outside of babies, please. So the other things that I'm seeing here is, it's interesting. When I say third party, it can be parent or coworker or friend. We have 3 court cards here. There could also be a blended family where there's an ex, but I see 3 people and 3 is a crowd, and that makes it a little challenging. Here's something that Spirit showed me in dreams, and I didn't mention it, but now it makes sense. So when I was looking, I saw someone looking for new houses. And I saw it felt like it was a mother or a grandmother that was moving with you. And they also wanted to move into the master suite or something. And there was an important conversation that needed to be had about boundaries, which is like, this is our house and you're our guest in our house. And sometimes when you have a grandmother or a mother or 2, like an in-law, because sometimes we have to share like a house because they're getting so expensive. Remember who's paying the mortgage. If you're paying the mortgage, that person that's visiting, they have a right to, like, they can stay there, but you have the right to say, no, the master suite is ours, and this is when dinner is, and I appreciate that you didn't do it that way, but this is my house. So I did get this interesting tug of war with different generations, and you'll find a very good way to communicate it, because it's going to be different for those of you that have generational complexities and layers like that, or merged families where there's a kid that comes in and thinks that they're the parent. So I just got like a bossy energy from another family member, and it was about navigating that and remembering that, you know, sometimes you have to find your voice in that situation and set the parameters. Interesting. It didn't make sense until now, so I just kind of saved it until it did make sense. Okay. All right. So let's see what else is going on here. Other things that I see is just that you're busy. and spending time with each other and opening up. The Four of Pentacles can be a card of not disclosing enough or not sharing enough with each other, so make sure you're talking and keeping the lines of communication open. It's pretty good otherwise. There could be a new baby on the way, even though I was joking about that. This can be pregnancy. This can be engagement. This can just be the two of you really committing to something together. So we have a card of commitment, we have two leaders, and then we have this clear path. So I like what I see overall. There were a couple of nuances and some very specific things. And I see some people even getting heated in the comments. Remember, that's not going to solve it. It is just about holding your ground, calling out when you see it, and then moving on. Don't give the person power. Don't let yourself get upset. It's not worth it. All right? Moving on to those of you looking for love. Can you find it? Yes. Queen of Cups, King of Pentacles, and King of Wands. All very strong energies, all upright. Are you ready to show up, though? I feel like King of Wands is fast moving. He's connected to the sort of highway. He might travel a lot. There's a lot going on. And are you ready to keep up with them? The King of Pentacles, very focused on accomplishment, on money. The home is important to them. Are you ready to start a family or settle down? This person's settling down. This one's moving fast. And then we have the Queen of Cups, who needs a little bit more receptive energy from you. And I have this card, which is pulling back. So if we're going back to the magnet, you have to really think what you're looking for and what you're aligning to so that you can pull someone in the same frequency. I see a lot of options. I don't see a lot of clarity. So the main thing here is to really be clear on what it is that you seek, okay? You can find it, yes, but I just see ambiguity kind of holding you back a bit. And maybe some travel. You might be working too much or traveling too much. For those that are happily single, well, you've got a lot that you can do right now. The main thing here is we see some great development coming through with your finances or a project. There could be a new opportunity that's knocking on the door right now. We also see, when it comes to business or life in general, kind of you hoisting yourself up to new levels. So personal, career, and self-development, just off the charts, looking really, really great. And you still may find a partner even though you're not looking for one. And that's kind of the magic about that sense of detaching a little bit. So if you're ready and willing to do that, I think some good things could happen. Apollo just popped in. So before we go into the next one, let's go to our Apollo camera. Let me see if I can pull it up here. Here he is. All right. He's resting behind me. For those of you that occasionally like to see, what's up with Apollo? Where is he? He's right behind me, chilling out. Okay, so let's go ahead now and take a look back into the expanded forecast. We're going to look at your destiny card. And destiny is basically your connection with your path, your trajectory, where it's all headed, okay? The world is your oyster, but the oyster card is reversed. Oysters are interesting because, they're filter feeders. So one thing that I like about this as a metaphor is to take time to drink it all in, to really sip in this moment, because we don't do that often enough. They also need to be pried open. They're very strong. So if you are very clear on what it is that you want, I actually feel like this is your strength card message, where nobody can really pry you from that sort of path. So be strong, really hold your ground. You have the power to make something amazing happen. Of course, there's a pearl inside. Maybe people don't see what you have to show because you haven't opened up and sort of like let them see that power, that strength, and that pearl in this moment in time. So there you go. Okay, let's take a focus now let's focus now, I should say, on the big idea for today. We're going to split it into two parts. Again, we're going to take a look at love and then abundance. They're both kind of related, but we're specifically going to look at that. Love and then abundance. Okay. All right, so let's start off here with the love card. The Two of Pentacles pulled between two different, some of you have two people in your life. For those of you that are looking for love, you might be dating, and there's a couple of people you got to make a decision, basically, is what this is. Some of you are also trying to make a decision between, do I have the time? You're working a lot, and this card is acknowledging that, that can be a little bit discombobulating sometimes. So I think right now, clearing some things from your schedule can help you with being a little bit more in the energy of pulling in love and relationships that respect and honor you where you're at. And that's the first thing here. Less is more, and this is also just about making sure that your work-life balance is in order. So if you work all the time, you don't have fun, that's not good either. So this is about making time for friends. If you're looking for love, oftentimes friends can be the connectors. They can be like, oh yeah, meet my friend. So you never know when that sort of special connection's happening. And if you're already in a relationship, it's spending more time with the people that you love. There's something going on where you're just stretched too thin. Okay, so now just general abundance. If you are unhappy, you are often not productive. So if you're feeling uninspired, exhausted, and unproductive, it's all probably feeding into one another. So I think in this moment, it's going to be very important for you to give yourself permission to not feel like you have to do something that's not creating joy in your life, right? So for those of you, I'll leave Apollo as the inset there, that are feeling like you're not happy enough, it's probably with the devil that you know right here. It's like, okay, I'm holding on to this, but that's actually holding me back from being all that I can be. The things that I like right now when we're looking at this overarching spread, well, first of all, you have the power to create what you want here. That was your catalyst. You're stronger than people give you credit for. You are worthy, because we have two worth cards as self and environment. It's really just about taking what you've done and leveraging resources a little bit better. I think once you do that, some really exciting things could happen. Let's get ready for a meditation, and then we'll look at one last question. This can be anything that you're still trying to figure out. So close your eyes for a second. Let go of anything that is still ricocheting in your head, whether it's relationship or work or some other issue. Let's let it go. And by the way, after the meditation, just to kind of say thanks, I'll gift a membership too. So stick around, and then I'll gift a membership for those that have done the meditation, because we're supposed to do at least a few minutes this week. All right. See, if you will, that it is a new day, a new dawn. And as you imagine yourself, you could be waking up in your home, you could be walking outside with your dog, you could just be closing your eyes and connecting with this visual image. But see that there's a new sun, a new day, and you can look at the beautiful sky in front of you, all the different shades of sunrise, rather. So there's the bright orange, but there's also kind of still a little bit of bluish purple from the evening, and you see a breakthrough happening. This is the moment for you to break through, to let go of something that has been blocking you and say, I've got this, I'm ready, I deserve this. And I want you to imagine that one of the rays of light that are shining from the sun reaches out and it touches your heart space, because that's where the healing needs to happen. As it goes into the heart energetically, it gives it sort of like this upgrade. Anything that was heavy dissipates, dissolves, and you just feel this lightness, this love, this unconditional joy. It starts to pulse through your veins, through each and every cell. And if we were to take a few steps back, you would just see this beautiful, pulsating, golden light around you. And now you have this Midas touch in the best way. Anything that you touch has the energy of love connected with it. And so put that energy into people, places, and opportunities that deserve it, and just hold it in your heart for a second and think to yourself, I've worked hard for this moment of clarity. I am worthy, I am ready, I am powerful. And really own that power in the days ahead. All right, open your eyes if you will, and let's go ahead and look at one last question that you have for me. It can be anything that's going on here that you still need a little bit of understanding on. Okay, this is pretty good. We have the Seven of Pentacles coming through. It's yes, comma, however, don't overextend yourself, don't rush. A common theme today is, why are we hurrying? What's the rush? This represents growth and healing, but it takes time. And sometimes it's growth and healing after a reset moment in our life, whether it's a tower or just a hiccup. So a lot of times we have a little bit of PTSD with that, where we're still worried that something is going to happen. No, you're good. You're healing. So release the fear. Fear has no seat at the table today. And focus instead on just slowly, intelligently, methodically, and clearly navigating the next steps of this journey, okay? As long as you don't rush, you're fine. So don't rush, don't overextend. That connects nicely with this too. This is about discernment. So know when to say when. The Six of Pentacles is the ultimate on that, but this is on the heels of that, so we have to remind ourselves sometimes. All right, let's go back to the Apollo camera, and I'm going to give back a little bit to those of you that are here. So stick around for a second. I have to hop into a different view. I'm going to gift a few memberships. Memberships are a great way to basically say thanks, give back, and be a part of the community. And sometimes I do special readings for members, so I just want to say thanks to all of those members. All right, here we go. Membership gifting. I'm gifting 5 now, and there you go. It should be out there in chat right now as we speak. So congrats to all the newest members. There you go. And I'd like to now take a moment or two to say thank you to those of you that give back or gave back today as well. Give back consistently. So first of all, thanks to everybody for showing up. Check out all my monthly videos. They're on the main channel page. Thanks for joining me on the weekly, and I do daily as well in case you've never been here. All right, so let's take a moment or two and look at the newest members, the ones that I gifted, the ones that you gifted, the ones that joined. Okay, here we go. I'm going to just do first names only, do my best to say the names correctly, and leave it at that. So Grace, Shella or Chella, Alexa, Kay, Annalisa, Playdance78, and Triona. I think that's everybody there. Let me just make sure. Oh, no, there's more. Okay. There are more. Yes, there are. Okay, Grace, Ida, Joanne, Inside Your Bones, interesting name, Anita Smith, Dana, Laura, Caroline, Jaybird, Natalie, Shelly, Show Living, Inga, I think it is, LC, Renee, Melissa, Patricia, Monica, Wendy, let's see, Ms. Arlene, Melody, and that is everybody. I had to scroll down. What a lovely collection today. Lots of gifted ones, I can tell. All right, let me take a moment now and say thanks to all of those that gave back with super stickers. Then I'll say thanks to those that gifted or celebrated an anniversary, and then anyone else that did something while I was talking here. All right, so Raven, Shelley, Jeannie, Lucy, Bernadette, Tahoe. Welcome back, Tahoe. It's been a minute. Julie, Joe, and Jackie. Thank you guys for giving back. Bernadette, that was extra amount too, so thank you so much. And again, just a thank you as a blanket to everybody that provided the decks that you saw today. I appreciate it, and I wouldn't have been able to get on my feet so fast if you guys hadn't done that, so thank you. All right, let me take a moment here and acknowledge some of the fans who gave back. So here we go. Okay, so glad to see so much going on here. All right, so we have Sarah, you just celebrated 30 months. Thank you so much for that. How did the time fly so quickly? Glad that it was spot on. Sorry to hear about the arm. You'll be all right. Just pace yourself. Let's see. Hitisha, I hope I said that correctly. Thank you for gifting 5 memberships. That's so amazing. Lucy, 31 months. Lots of people in the 30s right now. That's amazing. Thank you for your kindness, and then also for gifting a membership in return, too. I appreciate that. Renee, you gifted a membership. Thank you so much. Cheryl, you gifted 5. That's awesome. Thank you very much. Bernadette also gifted 5. Norma, 14 months. Congratulations. Thank you for being here and for your continued sort of support. I appreciate that. I am Laura for 25 months, over 2 years rather. Where has the time gone, right? I'm glad that you enjoyed today as well. Let's see, Jan, 19 months. Thank you. That's a lot. I appreciate it. And Regina, good to see you again, 30 months. Also, I am Laura, gifted 10 memberships. That's where all those extra ones came through. Thank you for Jan for gifting those. Sorry, I am Laura for gifting those 10. I appreciate it. I think I got everybody. I hope I did. Let me see if there's anything else that I missed in chat. If I did, I know that Dakota caught it. So thank you in advance, and I appreciate all of you guys. Again, check out the latest crop of monthly readings. They're all on the main channel page. And now I'm going to go back to the normal from Aries to Pisces, but I may switch it up more frequently. I think it is fair. It was interesting to see all of the Aries like, where's my reading? And I thought, oh, Pisces, you guys have been so patient for the past 10 years. So thank you. I do appreciate it. Apollo's to the side, but much love and light to all of you. Thank you for your time here. Let me know if you like that little Apollo cam feature. I figured it was a nice way to let him be on the ground, but occasionally throw the camera to him. All right, we'll be back later this month. I'm going to try to bring back the celestial ones, looking at lunar, like full and new moons. I may do at least one of those as a members exclusive. I did the full moon last month, so I may continue to do some of them, if not all of them, as members. Either members only chat or members only, just to kind of give back as well. So let me know if you like that idea. All right, everybody, take care. See you soon. Have a great week ahead. Happy September. Good to see all of you, and do take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.